From Shockmaster to Master Blaster, fans of professional wrestling seem to catch on to every nuance about the art form. But there's only one thing that professional wrestling fans love more than professional wrestling, and that's proving that they know more than you. That's right, this is an internet message board come to life. This is You Mark. Tonight's contestants, Steiner mathematics professor Mike from Australia. From the On the Forklift podcast, seen every Thursday night on YouTube, it's Ethan.
I'm here to find out why Goldberg eats corn the long way.
And from Wrestle Talk Wolfpack, seen on Twitch every Wednesday night, it's Ginger Ninja. For those new to the show, welcome. I'll be reading a statement from the world of professional wrestling, but somewhere in that statement is a small mistake or a hidden inaccuracy that I have put there on purpose. Your mission to be the first one to buzz in and correctly identify that error. Only one real rule here, and that's to have your answer counted, you must first say the phrase, "You Mark." For each correct response, you will be awarded 1 point in the form of a pinfall. And as always, this will be contested under Iron Man rules, and at the end, the contestant with the most amount of pinfalls will be our winner. All right, on to our first question. Throughout its history, TNA has engaged in various cross-promotional ventures with other wrestling organizations, foreign partnerships with New Japan Pro Wrestling, AAA in Mexico, and even allowing talents from Game Changer Wrestling to appear on their shows. Mike has buzzed in.
You Mark, not Game Changer Wrestling. I don't think they've been doing that.
That is correct. They have actually not had a partnership with Game Changer Wrestling. TNA has had many promotions. So I believe Noah was one as well. But
Look at what they did to my boy Okada.
You know what? That was troubling, to say the least.
Can we challenge that? Because there's only one contracted GCW wrestler. The only contracted GCW wrestler ever is Nick Gage. Even to the point of where Brett from GCW stated that they will never give out a contract to anybody but Nick Gage. But he is correct because Nick Gage has never appeared on TNA or Impact.
I would have to say, I would totally have given you that point. You have totally matched the energy of the show. I want it to be pedantic, and if Nick Gage had in fact wrestled for them, I'd give you the point. But considering he's the only contracted talent and they've never had one, I can't in good faith give you that one. So Mike will be receiving our first point of the night. That is one pinfall to Mike. Now on to our next question. In March 2009 at WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels faced The Undertaker in a streak versus career match that became an instant classic. The bout was praised as one of the best WrestleMania matches of all times. Following the loss, Michaels delivered an emotional farewell speech marking the last time the Heartbreak Kid would ever wrestle in a WWE ring. Ethan's buzzed in.
You Mark. Shawn Michaels returned to the ring with Triple H to face the Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel.
I refuse to acknowledge that in my headcanon. That was terrible.
Yeah,
Stunk up the match.
Never actually happened. That's an Mandela effect.
That's exactly right.
It's an extended universe club.
That means Ethan has a one pinfall to his name. Great job. On to our next question. All right, everybody. I hope you all are ready because we're headed to the world of New Japan Wrestling. Bullet Club was formed in 2013 when Prince Devitt, a.k.a. Finn Balor, Bad Luck Fale, Tama Tonga, along with American Luke Gallows, joined forces to create... Ginger Ninja has buzzed in. Ginger Ninja.
Mark. That was Carl Anderson, not Luke Gallows.
That was, in fact, Carl Anderson and not Luke Gallows. That was, in fact, Carl Anderson. Great job. Yeah, Carl Anderson. G1 Final Hoot.
Yeah, the one thing he always talks about. Remember that one match I had? Remember that one?
Now it is time for our first brass ring question. A brass ring is a minigame that perhaps requires more effort, and in the end, it's still worth the same as a normal question. Much like its counterpart in real life, I'll owe you one, pal, and that one is 1 point. This game is called In This Economy? What I have here is eBay listings for pieces of wrestling merchandise or memorabilia. Contestants will take turns guessing the price of each item. We'll be using the international standard of Price is Right rules, meaning closest to the price without going over will receive the point. The first item is a check made out to Bruiser Brody. The check was endorsed on the back by the legend himself, and it is from the St. Louis Wrestling Club. The check was made out for the amount of $365. We're going to start with Mike. Mike, what is your guess? How much would you pay for a legendary check from Bruiser Brody?
I'd say $185.
Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot. I don't know what the Australian equivalent of money is down there.
What I'm saying is in US dollars and not dollary to Australians. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Ethan, how much would you pay for this check?
$5.99.
$5.99. Great guess. Ooh. And Ginger Ninja, to you for this piece of wrestling history. What would you pay?
I'm gonna go $1,000.
$1,000. That means, Ginger Ninja, you're going to be taking home that first point there. This check sold for $16.67, which is almost 4 times what the original check was made out for.
Inflation, brother. It's getting everyone.
Okay, on to our next item. What I have here is a lovely 1987 LJN Wrestling Superstar Series 4 action figure. The action figure is of the likeness of none other than Miss Elizabeth. This listing has it listed as new on card. All right, Ethan, we're going to start with you this time. Ethan?
Ooh, a Miss Elizabeth. The LJN figures are popular. I'm going to shoot somewhere in the 700. I'm going to say 701.
701. All right. Ginger Ninja, to you, how much would you pay for this action figure?
$1,200.
$1,200. And Mike?
I'm going to have a crack and say, all right, 300. 300. Because y'all are overshooting, and I know there is a specific figure that the legend is about with the Miss Elizabeth.
I will say this, and I find it very funny. Mike, you did a great explanation on why you were going to do what you did. It could have just gone with $1. You all have all overbid on this figure. And we're going to start with Ethan. What do you got?
$87.
$87 from Ethan. And Ginger Ninja.
$1,200.
$1,200 from Ginger Ninja. And Mike.
$69.
$69. So we had 69, 80, you said 87, I believe, Ethan?
Yes.
And that means Ethan will be taking home that figure for a cool price. The actual retail price is $212. Mike, you mentioned something earlier about Miss Elizabeth figures. Would you like to share with the class what you know about Miss Elizabeth figures?
I remember hearing on the major podcast, I believe she's naked or you can see through her dress or something like that. Does anybody else know?
It's the prototype of her doesn't have her dress.
Oh, wow. The prototype.
Well, getting a hold of the prototype is the holy grail of Miss Elizabeth dolls.
Oh, wow.
And it's only because she's not wearing anything.
Yeah. Somewhere, like, Macho Man just, like, skeleton law in his grave just went, oh, no, and rolled over.
Okay. On to our third one. I hope you all collect sports cards because we're headed there. This is a true one-of-one 2023 Panini Prism Black WWE number 58, which is the card number. It's number 58 in the set. Bret the Hitman Hart, one of one. It's not autographed. There's no ring-worn memorabilia. It's just a shiny piece of cardboard with Bret Hart on it. But it is the only shiny piece of cardboard with Bret Hart on it that looks like this one. So we are going to start the bidding with Ginger Ninja. Ginger Ninja, how much would you pay for this one-of-one Bret Hart card?
I'd pay you to take it, man. $1. Like, legitimately, I'm not a Bret Hart guy.
Mike, what do you bid? What do you think the selling price is Bret Hart?
I'm gonna say $251.
We're headed to Ethan. Ethan, how much do you think this sold for?
I have to play the Price is Right game because I know the value of one-of-one Paninis. I have a one-of-one of a Gunther card. I'm going to go 252.
You bastard.
$1 over. And that will mean that Ethan will take that one. This, Ginger Ninja, take a second and take a deep breath there because this true one-of-one 2013 Panini Prism Black Bret the Hitman card went for $2,275.
What the shit?
Yeah, you can't have Goldberg kick the worth out of that card. Jesus, that's expensive.
Yeah. So Ethan, on that Gunther card, expensive. One of one, you hold on to that. You might be sending the kids to college.
It's an NXT pack card, so it's not worth as much, but it's about $300.
Wow. Well, great.
It's not a so the thing with the Prism. So the Prism cards are very like fancy and super nice looking and whatnot. And the NXT ones, it's literally just we had no idea it was a 1 of 1 until we held it in the light the right way because it's got a silver border on it and they stamped the 1 of 1 on the front and it was in the silver and we're like, oh, okay, that's
Wow.
what that is. So.
That's awesome. Well, I think Gunther is going to be one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time before it's said and done.
Absolutely.
So
Hands down.
I think you
Yes.
might have. I mean, if I was you, I would mark that as Gunther rookie card, 1 of 1.
Rookie, yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. I have a bone to pick with Panini though. I pulled a Ginny autograph like redemption, and I still haven't got it. I submitted it in November. You said 6 months. Panini, where's my card?
Our next item, I'm going to have to explain it a little bit. This is a
Okay.
bespoke, custom, 1 of 1 figure made by a very talented artist. I do have to say, this looks about as legit as you would pick any wrestling figure up off the shelf. This is a CM Punk action figure. Now, this isn't any CM Punk action figure. This is the CM Punk action figure press conference edition. CM Punk press conference edition comes with 2 heads, one covered in blood, complete with towel, microphone, muffin, 2 cans of Spindrift, and the AEW World Title. That's right, this full play set could be yours if the price is right, and you could relive all of those wonderful CM Punk press conference moments. Let's see, we're going to start with Mike. Mike, how much would you
terrible.
pay for the CM Punk figure?
$100 bucks. I don't know. That's
All right, Ethan, how much would you pay for this bespoke CM Punk?
It's not how much I would pay. It's how much CM Punk fan would pay, and they overprice everything. I'm gonna go with $7,500 now.
All right, $7,500 and Ginger Ninja.
I take offense to that, Ethan.
Yep, same. You
All
bastard.
right. By the way, sirs, it's clobbering time.
Ah,
So-
cool. I'm sure Marvel wants their money for that.
Pretty much. $178.99.
Ginger Ninja, you have closest to the price, the real actual retail price, $975, giving a lot of credence to what Ethan said about CM Punk fans overpaying for stuff. Our next item up for bid is a Dudley Boys t-shirt sized XXXL. This is an original ECW t-shirt, not ring worn, just one from the merch stand. And this is the classic blue and purple tie-dye Dudley Boys shirt that you know and love. Ethan, what do you think the selling price of the Dudley Boys triple XL shirt was?
$174.99.
$174.99. On to Ginger Ninja.
$75.
75. And Mike.
175 and no cents.
175 was the highest bid, and that is correct. This Dudley Boys shirt, in this economy,
And this is the year of our Lord 2023.
2023, the last Dudley Boys match was I don't know when. This shirt sold for $1,525.
What?
I blame this all on WWE and their National Treasure show.
You
It
think
used
so?
to be so much easier to get memorabilia. Now everyone wants an arm and a leg for it.
Mike and Ethan both tied with 2 there, so they will both be getting a point. Okay, on to our 4th question. The Stand Up for WWE campaign was created to help fans stand up to unfair coverage in the media about WWE programming. The WWE shared an infographic for fans with 10 ways they could help stand up for the WWE. Some of these actions that fans could... Ginger Ninja, you've buzzed in. Ginger Ninja?
You mark, it was bullying.
So that was the Be a Star campaign. Was that one? Yes, very good remembering on this one. The Stand Up for WWE campaign was created to help fans stand up to unfair coverage in the media about WWE programming. The WWE shared an infographic of 10 ways fans could help stand up for WWE. Some of these actions that fans could take included writing a letter to the editor of your local newspaper, take friends and family to a WWE live event, make a I'm standing up for WWE your Facebook status, or read a story that, yes, Ethan has buzzed in. Ethan.
You mark. It wasn't Facebook, it was MySpace.
That is very funny, but no, it actually was Facebook. The last thing they go on to say is another thing you could do is if you read a story that you feel is unfair to the WWE, email the reporter. Because Buzzed and Mike.
You mark, they didn't ask people to come to the shows?
That is correct. Yes, of all the actions,
I was like, what's the stupidest thing they could have done? Is like, yeah, do all that stuff. Like, no, number 11, yeah, definitely buy our crap.
Yeah, that is correct. WWE had a long list of items that basically was like bully the media if they're mean to WWE and be really weird to people. But none of it was just, hey man, bring a fan to a show and they'll probably like it.
The simple thing to do, like, hey man, if you really want to find out what it's about, let's go to the show. No. Instead, bully your local news reporter into taking their article down. Tell them it's
like a religion or something. It's like Scientology.
Yeah, it's a cult.
Hey, you should come check it out. Like, no, dox them.
We're taking it back to the Attitude Era with this next question.
I am the Hoochie Daddy, Ethan James, and you can find me every Thursday night at 9 on a Forklift podcast, or wrestling podcast on YouTube. Feel free to stop on by. We're talking everything in mainstream wrestling, including Michigan Independent Wrestling. That is our focus this year, and as always, we love you, Judy.
I just got it.
Ginger Ninja. Yeah, it's great. I'm the Ginger Ninja. You can find me on the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack on twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. We go live every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. We're coming up here on our 1-year anniversary very soon.
The European Championship saw a diverse range of champions during the Attitude Era. Besides the British Bulldog, notable title holders included Gangrel, Triple H, D'Lo Brown, X-Pac, and Shane McMahon. Ethan has buzzed in. Ethan.
You, Mark, it wasn't Gangrel.
That is correct. Gangrel never held a title in WWE.
He went on to produce adult films, didn't he? Or direct adult films? Definitely didn't star in them, but I remember hearing that he,
Somebody get David Heath on the phone. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's
Rob Black.
Oh, no. Keep XPW out of this, please. I already started shit with him once.
I know. I saw your I was scrolling. I was looking at your TikTok the other day, and I saw your pinned one about XPW. I was like, oh, that's got a lot of views and a lot of stuff on it. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure those comments are all.
What did you do,
good people? To our sixth question here. Despite its cult following and influences on wrestling, ECW faced financial challenges through its existence. In 2002, ECW declared bankruptcy. Ginger Ninja has buzzed in. Ginger Ninja?
You Mark, it was 2001 where they declared bankruptcy.
That is correct. They did. I will say, though, that the thing that happened in 2002 in regards to ECW is the movie Rollerball made its debut, and Paul Heyman was the color commentator in the movie Rollerball. It actually lost $27 million in production versus the box office. That makes Paul Heyman's biggest failure that he's ever been a part of, which was the movie Rollerball. Closely behind is The Bloodline as it's falling apart in front of us. On to our second brass ring question of the night. This game is called Faction Action. I have a list of 5 different factions or stables in professional wrestling. I will name the faction, and you will have to tell me a member of that faction. Once all 3 contestants have given the name of a wrestler, I will move on to the next faction. If a player cannot name a wrestler in that faction, they will be eliminated. We will continue until one player is standing, or we have gone through all 5 stable with all remaining players receiving 1 point. The first stable for tonight, we're going to start with Mike, is the Blackpool Combat Club. Mike, who's a member of the Blackpool Combat Club?
John Moxley.
Ethan, give me a member of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson, very good. And Ginger Ninja, give me a member of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Wheeler, Utah.
Very good.
Yeah, big Utes.
Everyone survives the first round. Now we're going to kick it back to a little old school WCW. Now this one you may consider a give me. I just want to see what you come up with for members. Mike, the next faction we're talking about is the NWO. Can you give me a member?
Dennis Rodman.
That's a great answer. Dennis Rodman. Ethan, can you give me a member of the NWO?
We're going to keep it really easy. Scott Hall.
Very good. And Ginger Ninja. Name me a member of the NWO.
The Great Muta.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that.
Almost went with the Big Bubba Rogers pull on this one.
Ethan, our next stable, you're going to go first here, is Los Ingobernables de Japan.
Why is his name escaped? Is it Sonata?
I do not see Sonata on the list here. No, I'm sorry.
He's in Just Five Guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. He is.
Ginger
Yeah.
Ninja, can you give me a Los Ingobernables de Japan member?
I don't know his name.
I know it.
That's
Yeah.
That's the thing with his eye. I don't know his name.
All right. And Mike, can you give me a member of Los Ingobernables de Japan?
Tetsuya Naito.
That
Cheers!
is,
That's the name.
that was correct.
That's it with the eye. That's a tank with the eye.
I can see like
Its brain is firing.
Mike will be getting the point here. On to our seventh question. Throughout its history, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions have been held by some of the most talented and iconic tag teams in professional wrestling. Notable teams that have held the titles include the Briscoe brothers, Jay and Mark Briscoe, the Kings of Wrestling, Chris Hero and Cesaro, as well as the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, among others. Mike, you have buzzed in, Mike.
You, Mark. The Young Bucks didn't hold it.
The Young Bucks didn't hold the ROH title. No, they definitely held the ROH title.
No, I know.
Hold on one second. Ginger Ninja has buzzed in. Ginger Ninja.
You're Mark. The Kings of Wrestling have never held the Ring of Honor tag team titles.
They have, in fact,
They
held the Ring
have.
of Honor.
Have they?
Ethan,
Yeah.
Ethan, you buzzed in.
You Mark. It's not Cesaro. It's Claudio Castagnoli.
That is correct. Yes, it is in fact Claudio Castagnoli and not Cesaro. Very good. Very good. Yeah,
They came out to "We Are the Champions" by Queen after they won. I think Deadlock did a SGH on that. Like they came out to "We Are the Champions" by Queen with the belts and pissed off the audience and stuff. The Kings of Wrestling.
That's hilarious. On to our eighth question. The AEW women's roster has been involved in some very impactful storylines that have captured the attention of fans. Most notably, Britt Baker's rise as a heel character and her most memorable feud with Ruby Soho garnered praise for their unsanctioned match. Ethan has buzzed in. Ethan.
You Mark. It's not Ruby Soho. It was Thunder Rosa.
That is correct. It was in fact Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker had a hell of a lights out match. I enjoyed that one thoroughly.
That whole thing proved that blood doesn't have to be in a match, but when it's used efficiently, it is star-making power.
On to our ninth question here. WXW was founded in Germany in 2000 by Alex Wright. Their 24 Karat Gold tournament is a signature event for the promotion. Mike has buzzed in. Mike.
Alex Wright. Okay. You, Mark. It was not founded by Alex Wright.
It was. It actually was founded by Alex Wright.
Was it?
Yeah, WCW legend. Berlin, I'll read it one more time unless somebody else wants to take a guess. In part, WXW was founded in Germany in 2000 by Alex Wright. Their 24 Karat Gold tournament is a signature event for the promotion, attracting top international talent and fans from around the world. Ethan has buzzed in. Ethan?
You Mark. It's not the 24 Karat tournament.
That is correct, but there is a slightly more correct answer. Do you want to tell me what the tournament's name is? And if you can't, I'm going to have to open it up to your competitors to see if they can scoop you. If no one can, you will receive the point.
Is it the Gold Crown tournament?
It is not the Gold Crown tournament. Mike has buzzed in. Mike, you got a guess for me?
You, Mark. It's the 16 Karat.
Yes, it is the 16 Karat. Yes,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Are you sure? Are you sure that it's Alex Wright? That has blown my mind.
Yeah, it said Alex Wright. All right. We're going to take a quick scorecard check here. We have a score of Mike with 5, Ethan with 5, and Ginger Ninja with 2. We're moving into our last brass ring question of the night. The question is called I am DB, I am BD. So what I have here, accomplishments from the wrestler Bryan Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan. You must buzz in and tell me if it was Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan who accomplished these feats by buzzing in and saying, I am DB for I am Daniel Bryan, or I am BD for I am Bryan Danielson.
God, okay.
No, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, I can
So-
see Jax's wheels turning already.
Okay, so the first career accomplishment, the planet's champion. Ethan's buzzed in.
I am DB.
Yes, that is correct. Next one, founder of the Yes Movement. Ethan buzzed in again.
I am DB.
I am Daniel Bryan. That is correct. ROH champion. Mike's buzzed in.
I am BD.
That is
It's
incorrect.
really hard. It's like I am BD.
All right, you are correct. You are
No,
correct.
it's hard.
Right, I wrote the questions and I'm screwing it up. Okay. Choking Justin Roberts with a tie. Mike's buzzed in.
I am DB.
That is correct. I am Daniel Bryan. Last one. Time limit draw with Kenny Omega. Ethan's buzzed in.
I am BD.
I am BD. That is Brian Danielson. Time limit draw. And that means Ethan will be taking the brass ring point there with 3
Nice.
correct answers. Now, this is our last question. Now, on you, Mark, we like to talk about the art of professional wrestling. Now, the last question here is about a different art form. So this question will be from the world of art, not particular to wrestling. All right.
Love it.
75 millimeter film is used in filmmaking as well as photography. It is the most common film gauge. Ethan's buzzed in. Ethan,
You mark 70 millimeter.
70 millimeter is what I have here, but that is not the most common.
Oh,
Mike, you buzzed in.
You mark 65 millimeter.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Ethan's buzzed in again. Ethan.
You mark, it's not 70 millimeter. It's, I don't know the number, but that's not the incorrect.
Oh,
That is correct. That 70 millimeters is the problem here. Mike, you buzzed in. Do you want to take a crack at it?
yeah. You mark. Is it 35?
That is correct. It is 35 millimeter film.
Okay, hang on a minute.
Just
There we
like-
go.
I'll tell you what, just like in real professional wrestling, sometimes it goes to a time limit draw, and that's what we're going to do here tonight. Guys, we have the first ever tie in You Mark history between Mike and Ethan here. As you may or may not know, your prize on this show, after you have won this game, you've clearly shown that you're the smartest mark in all of professional wrestling, and your opinion holds sway with the masses. So I want to know right now, what is your professional wrestling opinion? Because it must be true.
As a wrestling historian, Jim Cornette is fantastic, but anything else, count his opinion completely invalid.
Will Ospreay is better than Kenny Omega.
Wow. That's
I'll stand by that. I've stood on that hill for a couple of years now. I reckon he is and will continue to be better than Kenny Omega until they both are done and dusted.
wow. That's a heck of a proclamation. That'll get you some heat. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We will catch you all next week. Do something for your mental health. Touch some grass. Remember, at the end of the day, it's just pro wrestling, and much like life, it's a work, brother. We'll see you next time.